Hi there, my name is Rebecca Weaver, and we're looking at simplifying expressions today, specifically the distributive property, and some different examples with that. So let's start by looking at simplifying some expressions. We're going to add some like terms. In our first problem, we have 5 plus x plus 2 plus y. Now, I only have two like terms. It's like having $5, and imagine x's and y's as like Scrabble tiles. I've got an X Scrabble tile and I got a Y Scrabble tile and I got $5 and $2. If I'd like to add that, I can add in any order, so I'm just going to say 5 and 2 because addition is commutative, can add in any order. So I'm going to do 5 and 2. X and Y can't be added. They're not like terms. They're just X plus Y. So what we get is 7 plus X plus Y, and we're actually complete. We have finished this problem. But being a mathematician, I really, really like my letters to be first and my number to be last. So I would write this as X plus Y plus 7, and then I would be done. But both of those two are correct. So if I were to write it in this way, this is correct right here, and this is also correct. Either one of those forms is the same thing. So we usually have trouble when we have negatives. So let's look at 5 minus x minus 2 plus y. So I have 5, take away x's, take away 2 plus y's. And what that means is the minus sign stays with the guy that's behind him because that's what you're subtracting or that's what you're adding. So if I were to rearrange this, I would write 5 minus 2 minus x plus y. The 2's got to keep his minus or the negative, and the x does the same thing. So working with this one, I could write 3 minus x plus y. One way to write this so that I could have my letters written first, normally in alphabetical order, I would write it as negative x plus y plus 3. That would make me pretty happy. Also, you could write it as y minus x plus 3. Each one of these three answers is the same and is technically correct. There's no better way to write it other than just whatever floats your boat. So don't think you're wrong if you happen to write it in a different order. They're all the same. If I were to look at x plus x plus x, that's like 3 Scrabble tiles with an x on it. That just says I have 3 of those x's. Done. If I have, let's say, 3 x's plus 2 x's, I would say that that is, so if I had 3 x's sitting there and 2 x's sitting there, that's 5 x's. If I have 3 times 4x, now that means 3 groups of 4x. So that means a group of 4x here, a group of 4x here. So that would in turn mean 4x plus 4x plus 4x, which is 12x. Or you could have just said 3 times 4 is 12 right here, and then an x. So this leads us into the distributive property because this means there are 3 groups of 4x plus 1. Notice 1, 2, 3 groups of 4x plus 1. Adding this, I would say it's 4x plus 4x plus 4x plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. And I would get that that's 12x plus 4. Totally done on that one. I could have also said, and this is what we tend to do because we don't want to write all of that nonsense out over and over again. So what we tend to do is we go, well, it's the same as 3 of these 4x's and 3 of these 1's. In other words, it's 3 of those 4x's and 3 of those 1's, or 12x plus 4. Same thing, no matter how you slice it. Let's look at some more problems. I'm going to look at negative 2 times 3x plus 4. Then I'm going to look at the minus part of that, just so that I can see, because that tends to be when I have trouble. So distributing this negative 2, I'm going to say negative 2 times 3x minus the 2 times the 4. So what I'm going to end up with here is negative 6x minus 8. Playing again, this time it's going to be negative 2 times 3x, same thing, but I'm also going to do the negative 2 times the negative 4. That's going to end up, negative negative is going to end up, notice this negative negative thing going on, it's going to end up with a positive. So I'm going to have negative 6 plus 8 because that minus minus made a plus. Just more work with these negatives, just the more work that, the more practice you can get with them, the better you'll get at them. So let's look at this one because it's written a little backwards. I can just still say that it's 2x times this and 2x times that. So it's the 2x times the 5y and then the 2x times the minus 2. Be sure to keep your negatives where they belong. That's the most common mistake I see. So it's 5y times 2x minus 2 times the 2x. Will give me 10xy minus 4x. No like terms there. We are done. Looking here, trying to see if I have any like terms. Now x squared is a whole different critter than just a plain old x. So these three are like terms, but that 4x is just going to hang out by himself. So I'll rearrange this so that I have 4x plus 2x, keeping that minus with the x squared, plus the 4x. So 4x and 2x, that's going to be, what, 6? And then, so I'm going to have 6x squared, and then I'm going to minus, so 6x squared minus the x squared, so that's 5x squared plus 4. And then that one is complete. This one was so excited to be shown, he wanted to pop up there quickly. I wanted to get one that was really messy with a bunch of negatives in there, so you can see what I'm going to do. I'm going to go deep inside these parentheses first. I'm just going to do this first. All right, so here we go. I say 1 minus, write everything else down. So all of this other stuff, you'll notice all this stuff and this stuff, I just wrote it all down. And I'm just going to do what's inside first. I'm doing the 3 times the 4. That's going to be a 12 minus 3 times 2x. That's a minus 6x. So I will write that down. Notice here's my 3 times 4 is the 12. The 3 times 2x, that's a minus 6x. All right, everything else was just written down. Now I can't really do anything else, so, well, I could rearrange this 1 and this minus 4, but not right now. I'm going to distribute this minus. This is the most common mistake I see, so let's make a star here. Most common mistake is distributing this negative. Usually, students are really good about the minus the 12, but they forget that it's minus the minus 6x too, because it's minus that whole thing, not just the thing that happened to come first. So it's 1 minus 12, and then it's plus 6x. So notice that. That's easily where students make the most mistakes. So then I'm just going to do the 1 minus the 12, so that's negative 11, bring in my minus 4 over so that I can do him next. This 6x and the 6y, they're just going to stay the same. They're not like terms to anybody. So I'm going to get negative 15 plus 6x plus 6y. Now that's a totally fine answer and you can stop right there, but because I'm a mathematician and I'm compulsive, I've got to write 6x plus 6y minus 15. All right, that's some practice with the distributive property. I tried to cover some negatives. If you're still having trouble, be sure and email me and I'll try to work through these with you. You have a nice day.